Dear Colin Gorry, I deeply enjoyed your reconstruction so far presented, but I do fear that the poor connection resulted in the loss of some important data. I do say some of the linguists of HeJ have submitted proposals on how to achieve Proto-Kukwo, as you've dubbed it. YouTube, welcome back. We are in the middle of reconstructing a language from the HeJ project, which we are calling Proto-Kukwo, based on the reconstructions of one of the very first cognate set that we encountered, a word that means something like gardener, farmer, or bee. So we have received new data from our corresponding linguist, Cornelius Q. Sprat. So I think the first thing we need to do is go in and look at what he has to say to us. I will read this out in the voice of Cornelius. Dear Colin Gorry, I deeply enjoyed your reconstruction so far presented, but I do fear that the poor connection resulted in the loss of some important data. I do say some of the linguists of HeJ have submitted proposals on how to achieve Proto-Kukwo, as you've dubbed it. I took the liberty of sending you the important segments for your leisure, or your peril. Sincerely, Cornelius Q. Sprat. P.S. Seretse developed vowel harmony. Okay, well, it's always a pleasure to hear from Cornelius, and surely we have some interesting new avenues of approach. So let's jump into the document again, and let's see what we're dealing with. So this is our reconstruction so far. I have the YouTube chat open on my phone. So if you type into Twitch, I will not see it until I go Alt-Tab back. But if you type into YouTube, I will be able to see what you say. Okay. Right, so we have our reconstruction. So what did we get to last time? We looked at three roots. This root, which I've glossed as Kukwo in the proto-language, gardener. So reconstructed Kukwo, glossed as gardener, which gives us a variety of different reflexes. And we have forms for dual and two plurals. And then we moved on to look at another form, and this is something that means something like buffalo, which gives us reflexes horn, large animal counter, buffalo head. And through reconstructing this, we learned that the dual form appears to be reduplicative of some variety. And then we have another form which appears to be some kind of an adposition. I've glossed it as before in the proto-language, and it gives us forms like the before, zari before above, jiji sunset, jiri twilight, and opetir, a postposition that we don't know the exact semantic content of. Right. I've been hanging out with Cornelius too much. Starting to trill my own R's. Okay, so to deal with this, we came up with a few different potential rules, and the reconstructions ideally will get us the hypothesis overall will get us from the reconstruction to the attested forms in each language, using as few rules and as few unmotivated rules as possible. What do I mean by unmotivated? We want things that seem to have some basis in phonetic naturalness, or at least typological widespreadness. This is the usual MO of historical linguists, although there's some debate as to what role exactly typology should play in reconstruction. I don't think anyone would doubt that phonetic naturalness has a role to play in evaluating hypotheses in historical linguistics. So, given this, let's look at some of our rules to see if they seem good. So for this form Kukwo, this is the one we spent the most time on, and we have I think we have a reasonably good reconstruction here. The only thing that we have to be mindful of is that the dual suffix is a reduplicant. We learned this because we have kukwo and kukwoko, whereas we have the do and the dodo, the dodo, excuse me. And I think other than that, most of these sound changes are fairly well motivated and not something that would cause you to raise many eyebrows. Although if anyone in the chat has a different opinion, I'd definitely be open to discussing it. Okay, so this is the lay of the land. Let's look at the missing data to see if this is going to change anything. Okay, all right, whoa, we have some missing data here. We have quite a lot of data. And we also have Cornelius's cryptic remark that Saretse developed vowel harmony. Goodness gracious, look at all this. All right, so the question is, does any of this impact our existing forms? I see one of our cognates that's represented here. Bido, large animal counter, bidor, large animal counter accusative, and shezu. Interesting. Okay, well, we have to account for these. So let's get these both on screen at the same time. I will say a good word about Windows, which is that it makes it easier to tile things like this. Maybe there's a trick on Mac, I don't know. Okay, so we have bido. We didn't have the forms for Lasarrazi, which I'm still assuming is the pronunciation, I don't really know, for this cognate set. So let's get it in. So we have bido, large animal counter. That belongs here. And then we have bidor, large animal counter accusative. Interesting. We don't have anything case related so far, so this will have to go on its own line. I'll expand this up in a minute. I just want to make sure we can get everything in. So this is large animal counter accusative. And where did that go? Here. Accusative, and I completely misplaced it. There we go. Bido, bidor. And then we have this really interesting shizu, which looks like, that's supposed to be saretse. Okay, my mistake. Let's put it back where it belongs. I was right, actually. Okay. And we'll open these up so we can see everything at the moment. So this does not belong here. Great. And then we have this cognate here, which is really interesting. And I'm wondering if it belongs here because we have bido, and we already have a seriki. Oh no, this is sharish. This is sharish. Well, we already have a sharish cognate for bido, so I'm wondering what this is all about. Let's put it down here. Let's put it down here. And it means you. Okay. And anything else? No. Okay. So this is what we have for this cognate set. So that is those are our new cognates for this bido root. Let's take a look and see if we have anything for kukwo. Let's just look, see if we gardener, farmer, bee. Okay, we do. I'm beginning to wonder if these are actually not aligned, because they do not appear to be aligned. So maybe this U form is just a completely different etymon. All right. So let's make sure we have everything in sherish that we need. Kukwo, kukok, we have. Good. Okay, so we're good there. And then our diri hypothesis. So this is above, before, post position. What were the other meanings? Sunset. See if we can find any of these. Here we go. we have accusative forms for Saretse. So let's go over to Saretse and put them in. Here we are. Gigir. Gigir. I don't know what it is about my English-speaking brain that just doesn't want to do the English R for other languages. It's so firmly encountered, like, no, that's something that makes you sound like an English speaker. Don't do it in other languages, even when it is appropriate. Funny. Okay. Malat. I don't have any opinions. I don't know very much. I must confess. And now that we have the writing for Saretse, let's put in an orthography column. Here we go. Insert an orthography column, and we can get all the data that we need. All right, so we have, interesting. So this accusative suffix seems to be written with 3 graphemes here. I'm assuming that each one of these characters is a different grapheme. I could be wrong about that. But at least it's represented with this hor-ish thing. That sounds wrong, but it's all linguistics, it's all fine. And we have to put in our large animal counter. So this is written in Sharish. It's written B2ID101. And we don't have anything else for that. Let's find what it is in. So let's say, yeah, here it's Bido and Bidohor, something like that. So beautiful and beautiful. And the fact that we are getting new data, orthographic data, might change our approach in some way. And anything else? I think we had some stuff about Kukwo. Yes. So we have new forms in Saretse. We have an orthography for Kuku. We have an orthography for, actually we have a new form. We have the accusative form of B, which is Kukur. And then we have the orthography for the plural. But we don't have an orthography for the accusative plural. Interesting, okay. But we have, look at all these new forms, chat. Cornelius really came through. Be-ac, bees-ac. Okay, so let's see what this does to our analysis. And we don't need this other sheet to be open, so let's give ourselves some more screen real estate, shall we? So this doesn't need to be so big. Okay, so we can now reconstruct accusatives. Interestingly, we don't have accusatives in any other language, any accusative forms in any other language. That's kind of interesting. But let's see if we can. Oh, Malat. Caucasian languages in general. The only Caucasian language I'm familiar with is Kabardian, because I did a project on it in my first year of grad school, and that was a really fun. It was kind of like a phonetics project, because Kabardian is famous for a proposal, at least, that it has a very small vowel inventory. And so we were curious to see whether this was, by no means a great research project. It was just something for a class. But we were curious to see whether what the nature of the sort of vowel space was, where the boundaries between these proposed phonemic vowels lay in the vowel space in terms of formants. And it was really cool because my classmate's grandmother, I believe, was a Kabardian speaker, so we got to talk to her. That was cool. But other than that, it's not an area of the world that I know very much about linguistically. Okay, so let's continue. And one thing that's really interesting is orthographically, this kukwa of Saretse is written kukiha with some kind of an... Now, without knowing more details about the orthography, I don't know exactly how to interpret this. Maybe this is a kind of a dummy onset consonant. Maybe it is not. It's interesting that here we have KU1WKI2, and here we have the same base, and then this ha. It's like this. Here it seems that the I2 represents U, and here it seems that the I2 represents U turned into a semivowel, and then the H is just there to, I don't know, maybe support the A, or maybe there wasn't a consonant there to begin with that has been deleted, and we are now, but not soon enough to impact the orthography. So this may point to a sort of a ghost consonant that was there. Now, what's our proposal? I had reconstructed kukwo-kola, which is not what a spelling like this would lead me to believe, but how interpreting orthographic evidence is really, really difficult and kind of indirect at the best of times. So it gives me something to think about, but I'm not ready to change it yet on that basis. Let us see. Let's get some Buffalo Dual here. I don't know why this is Kukwo. If this is the same, then maybe we have something like Bidokola. I wonder if, sorry, this is going to be a bit disorganized because my thoughts are kind of all over the place on this. I wonder if it wasn't a mistake to equate this Ais plural with this Saretse plural, because the reason that I decomposed this duko and la was because I thought it was building on the dual. But if the dual is a reduplicant, then why does it stay ko here to give us gol, or gol? Voiced lateral fricative is not my strong suit. Oh, what's this? We have a message from Cornelius on the line. Oh, Lucy, put him through. I don't know. He can't talk now, can he? He's just sending some messages. Well, I eagerly await them. Let's go over to the full screen while we wait for Cornelius's missive. Oh, Cornelius can't talk to us, but well, let's read his message. Let's read his message and see what is going on. Oh, it's coming on a different device. Excuse me. Okay, I have to find out how to get this onto the screen. Call versus technology round 39. Cornelius is on Discord, I think. So Lucy, could you send them over Discord from Cornelius? That would be super. As we all know, Cornelius is a big Discord guy, although he's not a member of our Discord for some reason. I think there was a difference of opinion about a reconstruction many years ago, and although we're on collegial terms, I think there's still a distance, I find. I don't know what it is. Maybe he doesn't like the impression I do of him. All right, so these are proposals. We're not sure what their nature is. So we have to take them with a grain of salt, but they are just more data for us. So we're going to look at some other proposals that other linguists have made and see if we can evaluate them. So back we go to the side webcam. And okay, so Eon proposes that Proto-Kukwo had a labiovelar place of articulation. So we have, now I don't know, is this all visible? Yes, it is, okay. So we have these three series. Proto-Kukwo had a labiovelar place of articulation. Okay. So presumably these are, I'm trying to figure out how to read this. These are three reconstructed consonants, and these are their reflexes in presumably in different languages. So we have KKP, KPP, and KPT. This has to do with something called Eon's law, which I'm not read up on. So this is the first bit of data that we have. The second bit, proposed solution to an irregular sound correspondence. So we have, again, three, I guess, different languages in which these three different sets, cognate sets, reflex sets that we're trying to explain. One where we have TCC, one where we have TC1C2, C1C23. Okay, well, I think this will be interesting once we place it in some context. And Meyer, I don't know. M. Dot proposes that Proto-Kukwo number system mark the singular via a disfix and help an unmarked plural. Also propose that several branches innovate a new plural marker and few branches have a double reflex of this new marker. Interesting. So the plural would be unmarked, which is typologically uncommon, but it's been known to happen. And then Zotka has disagrees with my reconstruction of Proto-Kukwo, specifically in the big difference I see here, other than, okay, no, there are a lot of differences here. So what I've reconstructed as aspirated P, Zotka reconstructs as F. What I reconstruct as P, Zotka reconstructs as aspirated P. What I reconstruct as T, Zotka reconstructs as D. And what I reconstruct as K, Zotka reconstructs as G. And then there are differences in the vowels. Instead of A, we get E, Okay, interesting. We will keep these things in mind. But I think for the time being, I am going to need to put in a little break, YouTube, and I will return shortly. Until then, ponder, think about what might be going on with this data set. This is a very, very complex data set, far more complex than any we've looked at so far. So until then, we'll see you next time.